Hey guys.
Hello.
I'm so excited. All of us are here. Okay, so Lexi, you know me, I'm crazy. Wendy, you don't know me that I'm that crazy, but I am crazy. And I'm so excited you guys are here. And we're probably gonna do the intro and then have you guys just say something about yourselves, whatever you want. If you have a channel, if you want to say your social media, if you want to keep it private and just say your first name and not anything, whatever you guys want.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, on that note.
Oh my god, it's so naked without my husband.
Yeah,
I swear.
do it.
Huh?
You're fine.
Yeah, do it. Do
Okay,
it for
cool.
me. It's too hard for me.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gray Pill Podcast. Like always, your host with the most, Angelus, representing for the Gray Pill Podcast. And as you see, we have a great selection and going to have a good conversation for you. Here's Mink and Mink. Say what's going on, Mink.
Oh, hey, hubby. Thanks.
Hey, what's going on? And we have our another guest, Wendy. How are we doing, Wendy?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. And thank you for coming on and putting on your time for us. And Lexi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I am feeling the look, girl. I'm feeling the look.
You know what? I almost got a fresh cut today. I didn't have time, but next time.
All right, cool.
Oh my God.
We're catching them back. That's how we do.
I was gonna wear a beanie, but
hey, I'm all about the beanies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a shout out to the group. That's our thing. We bonding right now.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Shout out to, we're gonna go ahead and with the chat. Shout out to you, Primal. Appreciate you, good sir. Elizabeth Davis, appreciate you. Anytime. Princess K, ladies' night. Yes, this is all girls' night tonight. All girls' night. Dancy Actor, appreciate you, Namad. Appreciate you. And a special shout out to Melissa. Appreciate you. New in the chat.
Ooh.
Yep. Marcus again, shout out to you, representing for everybody, like always.
Aww.
And what Mr. Primer got to say. So much, so strong, independent women. Yeah, that part.
Yeah. So I like for sure. I obviously went through like my different list of people and stuff, but I wanted to like get quality women because you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna name other platforms, but I feel like we're in. So you guys don't know. This is like most of my friends don't know that I even have this podcast, and I'm just now like bringing it out, right? And so this has been going on for a while. We're in the. We're in like different spheres, but like the primary way of thinking is like men and women have their own different perceptions on things. And in the sphere that we're in, a lot of times people have like, you know, like the clout chasers and like the women that are like, get that bag and get this, which is everything is fine with that. But I feel like a lot of times I'm arguing with these guys and like, no, that's not how women think. No, that's not how women believe, or no, that's not what women want. And they don't believe it because they're so used to just seeing that. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming on because I invited quality women. Like you guys are legit. You know what I mean? Like you guys have your own things that you're going on, your own career paths, you're you know what I mean? It's just different. And I don't want to put anyone down, but I really fuck with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And just to give a special shout out to Miss Genesis. If anybody don't know Miss Genesis, your mic is muted. Miss Genesis from the Book of Genesis, you can check her channel out. Hey
y'all.
Hi.
Very
Hi,
polite,
pleasure.
very polite, very sweet. She's to me, I feel like she's a just another soft version of Princess K. I've never seen her voice raise up a pitch. So welcome, Miss Genesis. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Oh my God, you are.
What are you guys talking about?
It's girls talk. So we're gonna let the ladies take over the platform and have some random questions and get a conversation going. That sound good?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember last time we had this long talk and it was a great conversation. Your platform. He was like, hey, you know what? I want some me time. So I feel like we're gonna take a little bit of that and bring it over here too.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I'm like probably like the loudest one. I'm sorry in advance.
I challenge you.
Except for that bitch.
All right. Anybody, any Latinos out there in the world want to give a special warm welcome? So shout out to Marcus for doing this for us.
For all your Spanish watchers and viewers, Telemundo, Univision, Galavisión. Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Por favor, suscriben, gusten y por favor compartir este canal de YouTube. Cualquier parte del mundo donde están ahorita, por favor, familia, amigos o socios de trabajo, lo que sea, por todo el mundo, por favor, suscriben al canal del Gray Pill Podcast, el Pastilla Gris, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Oh my god.
That part.
Well, damn.
All
I
right. So
feel like official as fuck.
how was everybody weekend?
Pretty good. It's
Okay.
actually really outgoing, insightful. So just happy to be back on the weekday and just get back to the grind.
Okay. Did anybody celebrate Easter? Or we just like,
Yes.
because I really didn't.
I did kind of, sort of, not
I'm gonna
really.
be honest, I didn't. I just stayed home. Just
I
be
was
lazy.
in bed the whole weekend. It was
There you go.
beautiful.
I
I
can
went to
respect.
the movies.
Okay,
Oh,
what we
Which
see?
movie did you see?
What did I see? Oh, that new it's I forgot what it was called, but it's that Harry Potter one, the like story of Dumbledore and how he got started. So it's pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it. I typically fall asleep at the theater, no matter how good the movie is. Ever since I hit my 30s, it's like I can't stay awake, especially if the seats are comfortable. So
I'm not gonna hold you. It depends if the movie is too long. Like I'm not gonna name them because I'll be throwing myself on the bus. But I had a buddy in high school, so that I don't use 30 as an excuse because I had a buddy in high school. He would go to sleep on every movie, every 007 movie. He would go to sleep on it. A lot of explosions, a lot of gun chases, and he would just still fall asleep.
well, it didn't start for me till my 30s. Like as soon as I hit 30, I like would go to movies and I'm like, wow, I can't stay awake. And the only movie I stayed awake for because it gave me so much anxiety was the Uncut Gem. That movie was just super intense. I couldn't even fall asleep if I tried.
Oh wow, I have to check that one out. I never heard of it.
Oh my gosh, it has Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. I said that right, but it's such a good movie. But the reviews, everybody felt like very anxious afterwards.
Okay. What about you, Miss Jens? You said no, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, on Saturday I took my little kids to like an outdoor Easter thing for kids with like an inflatable and uh what do you call like the Power Wheels cars and face painting and all that other good stuff. And then on Sunday, no, that was early Saturday. Then I did family game night. My cousin purchased a new home, so we did family game night there. And then on Sunday, I did church, and kids got Easter baskets and all kinds of Easter stuff, and I had shows to do each day. So I used all day yesterday to recover. Like
Okay.
I was wiped out by yesterday.
You go super mom.
Yeah, I try.
Wendy, Mika. Well, Mika said you pretty much was like me. You was like dead underwater for
Yeah.
Sunday. What about you, Wendy?
Yeah, so Saturday I actually had a girls' night. We celebrated Easter. We did egg painting and then like we decorated muffins.
You had girls' night on the Lord's weekend.
No, but we celebrated.
Okay.
Like, we did Easter activities.
You was drinking a lot of wine for Jesus.
I didn't drink actually.
Okay. All right. Keeping your
What
eye.
I say? What I say? Quality. Did I not say quality? I said quality.
Okay. Just keeping you honest.
There's no sin in drinking. The
That's
sin
right.
is in being drunk.
That's right. That's right. I had a little poll up here. It was a little silly poll. It was asking a question. I'll put it around you ladies. It asks, would you date your significant other if they was a virgin long term?
I would.
I
Okay.
would. I
Really?
would. Yeah.
Wendy? What are you laughing like?
I don't know. I think it's hard. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I respect their views. I wouldn't want to like be the one to change it or, but I feel like it's part of like relationships, right? I feel like it's
Yeah.
a way to connect with one another on a personal level. So
All right. Now you triggered my trap card. So okay. So let's play role reversal, right? Now a guy meets you and you're talking, so you want to hold out for him because you may feel like, hey, well, I mean, of course you may hold out for him because you want to get them the bonding going, the connection, right? So wouldn't it kind of be fair? He might feel like you're holding out a longevity for him if you put a time clock on the your other spouse, your significant other being a virgin. He might be feeling pressured.
Well, I feel like once I get to know the person, then, I'm not going to be holding out per
Okay.
se. but I wouldn't just go right off the bat. Like I want to get to know the person at like a personal level and see if there's actual connection, and then move forward with that. I feel
Okay.
like that's my highlight, like having that personal connection first.
Okay. So how do you vet your spouse when they, approaching you?
Can you repeat your question again?
I'm sorry. How do you vet your significant other? Let's say I'm approaching you on the date, right? Or I'm coming up to you just to get your number. Hey girl, what's going on? And you set my number, we meet up. So how do you vet to that point to say that person's valid to go to the next level?
Like I said, we have a good conversation the first time. I get to see the vibe. You kind of just know the vibe, like where the guy is going the first night around, and if they do have like good intentions, they're not gonna just go right off the bat and try to like hook up.
Okay, so that's how you vet them, just watching and waiting.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, like testing the waters.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to intercede here. Can you give a background on like what you do as your profession, what your background is?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I specialize in audits. I do cybersecurity audits, IT audits, and financial audits. I graduated with 2 bachelor degrees in accounting and computer information systems. And most recently, I am going to UCLA for cybersecurity.
Oh wow, nice.
So I think she vets people pretty well.
She's like mini Penny on a James Bond. Just
So
do
like
it all.
think about it this way, right? Like my job as an auditor, it's part of like, getting to know a process and interviewing and asking like questions and getting a feel. So I feel like I bring my skill set to dates. It's kind of just embedded in me at this point. I just get the vibe based off like how they carry themselves, how well they answer questions, how well we communicate at a intellectual level. So I think that's the starter point for me.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Miss Lexi?
Well, for me, I think I'm in a different chapter in my life. So when it comes down to waiting, like for me, I can't just have intimacy with someone. I'm stimulated differently. Maybe in my 20s, like it was more physical, but
Of course.
now I need to be stimulated intelligently, like intellectually. So if you can hold a conversation with me, if we can get deep and we can have that connection, like I'm looking more for like a soul to soul connection versus just like a body to body. And I've been there, and I think for me, I've tapped into a different age group that I'm dating, and I'm also a lesbian too. So you're getting a perspective from a lesbian.
Hey, shout out to that. First of all, that's hot.
So for me, like the longest time, I guess sex just complicated things. I think we confuse real emotions with sexual emotions, and when you eliminate that and you get to know the person on a deeper level, and you're able to connect intellectually, then that can transition into something romantical. So that's how like I wait. Like if my partner, if we discuss like she wants to wait, she wants to stay a virgin until whenever, and if we connect and this is someone I potentially see myself with, then I don't mind, because I don't think sex is the most important thing in a relationship. I think it's important, but not the most important.
Okay.
I agree with Lexi. That was really well said. I feel the same way. So
I've actually tapped into dating older women. I'm 35, or I'll be 35 this year, and I feel like
How the fuck are you 35?
I stay out of the sun. That's how I look this young, and I'm a vampire. We talked about it earlier.
This bitch, she's like, I'll suck the blood out of you. I'm like,
Yeah, it does keep you young. No, 40 and up, that's like my age group right now. I get stimulated so much, and like I can keep a conversation going, and it's beyond like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite movie. Like we talk deep, like it gets deep.
Okay, I agree with that, because I noticed even like let's say Miss Genesis, for example, she has children, so I always hear that old term that when you're around kids, like the grandkids or your children, it make you feel youthful because you're out and about, running around with them. Then if you're let's say not just dating, but if you're meeting people older than you, then it's like, okay, now the mind stimulated a little bit more, It don't have to, you don't, and I just want to put it out there. I'm not saying, yeah, get the education, but sometimes wisdom and experience help too
Yes.
with it stimulate somebody's mind. Because I don't know everything, but I'm lucky to talk to individual people like here. We have great perspectives and a lot of stuff.
I
All
call that executive maturity.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in, I'm gonna write that down. Look at there. Already learning. What about you, Miss Jen?
I think I agree with the ladies that it wouldn't matter to me. I think that well, for me, if sex is talked about or mentioned too early, then it's a turn off for me. Um, have to connect with you, like she said, mentally and emotionally. I have to be stimulated before I could be stimulated physically. So,
Okay. She's like short and sweet. I'm in and out. Hey, welcome to the panel, Miss Stacy.
Hi guys.
All right. I don't know how much you heard, but did you hear the question I was asking?
Repeat it, please.
Oh Lord. That's good.
Is it your poll?
Oh yeah. Well, it came to the poll and this turned into a whole good conversation. So thanks to Wendy, she triggered my trap card on that one. She stimulated my mind for another conversation. So pretty much the question is short and sweet. How long would you wait or how long would you wait to vet somebody, your spouse, to sleep with them?
What are my intentions when I meet him?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can meet somebody without wanting anything serious, and then they matter eventually. But
Okay. Well, now let's play devil's advocate. All right. I'm a virgin. We meet. You like me?
Nope.
So it's no off the bat.
Nope.
There you go. Everybody's not the same. Well, how do you vet your potential mate? Like once I get your number, and we go from there. So how do you vet that guy to decide to say, you know what, he's worthy of the box?
Oh God. I guess I wasn't ready for this.
Mentally stimulating now. Shout out to Wendy.
And me too. I appreciate you, girl.
I don't know. Ooh, hold on, dogs.
Oh, you're fine. We'll give Mika a chance to go ahead and turn on that one while she take care of the pooches.
How long does I have to wait? Is that
Well, it was a kind of a two-parter.
the way I said it? How long do I have to wait?
Keep it simple and short.
I'm not gonna lie. She sound like the fellas now. Like, oh, I gotta wait that long. Okay.
I will say this. I don't classify myself as a normal girl. Like I can't do a virgin. It's not going to happen because I would feel guilty because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, not only are you telling me like, we're not going to have that connection where I've already had it. So I'm going to be the person that needs to be patient and wait, but I'm also going to have to kind of walk you through things because you're not experienced. You know what I mean? And like, so that's a no-go for me. And then how long do I wait? It really depends on the person. I think that if I actually genuinely if I think the person is like for me, I actually end up waiting to get to know them. If the person is not for me, but I think they're attractive and I would like to have intimacy with them, then I don't really wait.
Okay, so knowing the virgins, period. They don't want to hurt their little heart.
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. You might put it on them. Too good. All right, so
bring those virgins over here. I got
exactly.
Oh my gosh, she's like, I'll wait. She's like, I'll wait. I like stimulation mentally.
There you go. That part. All right. So how do you vet your guy?
Do I have is it like a guy that could be like my boyfriend or a guy that I was dating?
We say, well, somebody potentially get in the box.
If it's someone that I'm just dating and they're a good guy and I just want to sleep with them and I'm attracted to them, I'll sleep with them on the first date. But if I actually like them for potentially being something much more, then I wait.
What do you mean by nice guys? Because I can bring you a dingy one flower one day. I could be a nice guy.
Yeah, but like I can see through that and see like if you're my kind of person that I'd want to have a relationship with, and if you're not, but I'm attracted, then I might sleep with you on the first date, and then not do anything else.
All right,
Again.
just because we know each other, I'm gonna go ahead and, like they say, I'm gonna probe you a little bit.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is your definition of a nice guy?
A gentleman.
A con artist could be a gentleman.
That's fine. As long as he's nice to me on the first date, he might get the box.
All right, fellas, y'all hear this now? Scam for 30 to 60 days, you will get it free. No $1.99.
And it depends on my mood. Like, and those are my moods when I'm like, I am thirsty. Like, because that's the thing is I go in between moods. So right now I'm not in that mood. Right now I'm in the mood of like, I want intimacy, kind of like what Lexi and Wendy were saying. I want someone that's not just mentally and not just mentally going to stimulate me, but emotionally going to stimulate me. So for the moment, I'm not sleeping with anyone. I'm probably not going to be sleeping on the first date. I'm probably not going to be doing any of that. I'm looking for someone that I can have intimacy with, not just on a sexual level. So it also depends on my mood.
Okay, I can respect that. All right, I'm gonna get let's Stacy get her finish her question. We're gonna bring other panelists on while she's trying to get topless. All right, Stacy.
I like
Woman
it.
here.
That's my girl. Yeah, let me take off my pants really quick. It's hot.
Oh,
There you go.
they're going next. Big sweaty pajama ones.
Oh Lord. So what? All right. So back to answer the question. You said no on the virgin. So how would you vet your guy properly to say, hey, you know what, he's deserving the pool tang?
Yeah, a gentleman. First off, I'll never sleep with anybody when I first meet him, just because no matter how well he pretends, you don't know a gentleman until you turn him down. Because sometimes they get angry, and I want to know those guys who can play all the right cards and then
Okay.
kind of tell you they're done when you say no. But
All right. Is there a certain time limit, like second date, third date?
if I like them, I'll go on the second.
Okay. So
If I'm feeling it out, I'll wait maybe 4.
okay. So
And
back,
if I
okay. So
longer.
all right. Sound like it's back to the vibe.
You're giving me like these Kat Von D vibes today.
Is my sassy makeup day.
I can literally see her. I can literally see her as a pinup girl, like real talk.
I know. I was like,
Cool points to you, Stacy. And last but not least, Miss Dolly. How we doing,
I
Miss
came
Dolly?
in late. I'm sorry. I was
Hi,
driving. I
Nana.
had to get out of the traffic.
Oh, you're
Hi,
fine.
Nana.
You're fine.
Hi.
Well, how much did you hear so far?
I came in when you were asking Anna about the like when you would sleep with someone on the first date and so on.
Okay. So how would you? Okay. So number one, would you sleep with? Would you have a long-term relationship with a potential spouse that's a virgin?
That is like the funniest question ever, but actually that already happened to me.
Really?
I married my husband who was actually a virgin, and that didn't work out really good.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Age. Okay.
Can I
let's get
ask
age
a
on it.
question?
Oh, go ahead. Sure.
I have to ask a question. Okay. So were you a virgin too, or was he just a virgin?
No, I wasn't a virgin. He was a virgin, and it
Okay.
just was not a good combination.
So did you
Okay.
have to go through a period of like showing him the ropes?
Not really. It was more like annoying to have to be the girl showing like a guy who's a virgin like how to do things. And not that I was an expert in sex, but it's just very different to be with somebody who's a virgin when you're
Right.
not a virgin. It's just like you're not on the same level, you know?
Okay.
Mhm.
So what was his age, if you don't mind, at that time that he when you
I
met him?
was
No, what
shit.
how
That's
old
gonna
he
make
was?
me look bad.
No. We
How
talking
old-
about him right now.
how old
We're
was
talking about him.
he?
How old was he?
My ex-husband was 10 years older than me. So he was 27 and I was 17 at the time when we
Okay.
got hitched.
So how long did you wait for him to decide to he pretty much allowed you to sleep with him?
We had sex, I think, after 6 months of dating, and that explains why we weren't having sex because he was a virgin.
Okay.
Yeah, and when he finally told me, I didn't believe him at first, but then I obviously realized that it was true.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
So
when did he? How long did he wait to tell you to say, hey, I'm a virgin?
like 3 months into the relationship.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
respect that. Did he have like a personal reason or religious reason for doing that, or he just uncomfortable and just like, hey, Dolly's like the most beautiful woman, and I couldn't get any other woman. I felt awkward, and I finally shot my shot with Dolly.
No, he was actually saving himself for marriage.
Okay,
So
and you
yeah.
and you divorced
My
that poor
God.
man.
Hey, that makes me look bad. Okay, we had issues.
I guess so. His first time, you popped his cherry. Now you got that man, that
Hey,
poor man
but
running around
guess
crazy.
what? The
Yes,
next one's gonna be really good for him.
that's true.
That's right. Experience.
I taught him well.
You know what,
Oh,
Dolly?
God.
You know what, Dolly? I'm not even mad at you because guys be saying that too. They'll look back and let's say a girl can like cheat on them or it just didn't work out, and they'll look back like, you know what? The next guy, I taught her everything.
That's usually how it is, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that. That's funny. Okay. I mean, it's not unheard of to have a man even. I know they make jokes in the movie like 40-year-old virgin, but there are
yeah.
guys out there that are virgins, so it happens. But in our spaces on our end, we know about it, but we don't meet these guys. But we hear the guys that's awkward and don't know how to approach women, don't know how to talk to women. So that kind of leads up to our next question. So pretty much, what's the best? Well, how did he approach you? We'll take it around the table. So how did he approach you, Dolly?
Like, how did he approach me when we met, or like?
Yeah, how you met? Like how he just go ahead and just get them digits.
When we met, I was working in downtown LA, and he followed me on the street. It was freaky. He like followed me for a whole block, and I was like, "There's a freak behind me! Like, what the fuck?" So I finally stopped at the light, and I was like, "Dude, are you following me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am." I said, "What?" So he was like, "Oh, ma'am, I saw you. I wanted to get your number." And I was, it was back in the day.
Yeah.
When guys used to pick on girls to get their number.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he wanted me to give him like my cell phone number, but I didn't give it to him. I took his.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to call him and reach out?
No, this is too much drama. I actually that day I had met somebody else in the morning, an attorney, and he had given me his number, and I mixed the numbers in my pocket.
Oh, he got lucky. You know what? He's
Okay,
blessed.
let me just tell you about my
Shout out
girl.
to him. He's blessed. He's blessed. Okay, shout out to him.
Okay. I just want to like let everybody know this is my girl. She keeps it 100. If she doesn't want to answer anything, if anybody on this panel does not want to answer anything, please say so. It's not an
Correct.
issue at all.
Yes, no pressure at all. But shout out to him, Dolly. He got blessed. He got double
I actually
blessed.
told him that too.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, I actually lost that guy's number and ended up calling you because you were the only one in my pocket left.
You know what he was saying
He
in the
was
back of his mind?
laughing.
You know what he was saying in the back of his mind when it happened? He's like, God's plan. God's plan.
Oh God, that's too much.
All right. So we're gonna read some most the chats here real quick. So most people's like, that's brutal about the virgin guy. Oh boy, that's brutal. And then somebody else was like, shout out, I guess to Dolly said, that's my girl, not just guys. Yes, of course. Maria. Shout out to you, E-Man. I appreciate you. Yes, he is very lucky. Very lucky. He had the box for like 6 years, got the voice. Now he crazy. He don't know what to do no more. Reminisce about it. And yeah, again, thank you, Jesus. Shout out to E-Man. All right, so we're going to tone it down a bit before we start asking me questions. So I do have one question here. I have like a little list, just a warm-up question, but we pretty much got warmed up. What do y'all ladies love about your home? And we'll start with Miss Stacy.
Damn it, I literally just coughed. I didn't hear your question.
I said, what do you love about your home?
What do I love about my home?
Yes.
It's kind and caring, and everybody does their part, and everything's in its place. And there's so many dogs right now,
It's okay.
and it makes me happy. But I don't know.
I don't know. All right. What about you, Miss Genesis? What do you love about your home?
It's my place of peace. It's where I escape the world when I'm outside and it's, wild and crazy out there. Then I can come into my home where this time it's quiet, or I create my own vibe, once I'm inside.
That's what's up. Minka Mink, what do you love about your home?
That I have privacy and it's colorful and I can walk around naked and it's big.
It's big. That part.
I wish I could walk around naked.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna need you to check your messages in a moment when you can, Angelus.
Okay, cool.
I have
Wendy.
15-foot windows, though. I'm just saying, there's no walking around naked in my place.
I would definitely walk around naked in your place.
Sometimes, but it's not the city; it's the small town.
I don't even care.
I gotta
love
see
windows.
Jim or Todd or whatever the fuck his name is every day.
Curtains.
For 8 years.
Curtains.
But I love the sunshine. I never close the curtains, and I can't reach the bars.
But they have curtains where you can have.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Yes.
That's nice.
Why am I in love with your curtains all of a sudden? God damn.
Just saying, the curtains are always open.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Miss Wendy, same question to you. Like, what do you love about your home?
So what I love about my home is the comfort and the people that I'm surrounded with. I'm surrounded around inspirational people, and sometimes if I need that extra push, it'll be nice to just come home and like be able to chat and express my feelings and just kind of unwind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what like really stands out for my home.
Okay. What about you, Miss Lexi?
I love that it's mine and I don't live with anybody and I can come and go as I please. It decorates the way I like, and I hibernate there. That's where I go and I disappear from the world, similar to what Genesis said.
That's pretty much me this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. Who we missed? I think Dale.
I'm gonna go with. I also like the privacy I have in my house. I can walk around naked in my house. It's just myself and my adult children that are never home. So when they're home, I feel like, there's somebody in the house. But when they're not home, I just feel like I have the house to myself. So I guess the privacy and that it's my home. Like, I don't actually bring people to my house because it's so private to me. So it's like,
yes,
it's like my little thing, my hideout.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one because when years and eons ago, and I had this one relationship and it didn't work out, and we ended, and I got my own place. That's literally the first thing I did, just walk around the house just butt ass naked. I'm gonna keep it 100. The feeling of that is just the best feeling ever. And somebody had said something here in the chats. Shout out to Maria. She said, I love my home because with my roommates and me, it's an open door policy and accepting to people, even if I am not home. I know my friends and come to stay. Abs be taken care of. Okay. Shout out to you. I'm just not walking around people naked unless it's my spouse. Pancake.
I will say that the only people that are allowed in my house that know where I live are my girlfriends, and they all like either have keys or they just come in whenever they want. So I get that, but I'm also still naked because it's girls, so it's okay.
All right, shout out to her. She said, people home or not, we naked. All right.
That's right.
I'm not even mad at her.
That's my girl. Have you noticed that her name on there is Maria? Maria.
Baddest song out there.
All
right.
everybody?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
again, this is a personal question. You don't have to answer. So, are we all currently dating anybody right now, or yes, no, maybe so?
What was the question?
Are we currently dating anybody right now? Yes, no, maybe so.
Are we dating men?
Are we
Men,
dating
women,
someone?
Oh.
someone. Yeah,
Man, woman,
I'm keeping it
someone.
fair for you, Lexi. We got you.
I actually
Yeah,
tried
Lexi.
to date a man. I did
Really?
try the whole man thing once when I was like curious, but that I think it's fair.
Love it.
But no, I'm single,
Okay.
ready to mingle.
I was gonna say the same thing. Single and ready to mingle.
Hey, shout out to Dolly. Dolly, just make sure there ain't no virgins, okay, Dolly?
Oh, trust me, I have never dated a virgin.
All right, I want to
You know what? I'll take a virgin man. He won't need anything from me.
Oh my
so.
god.
No, girl, I like my sex. It
Bring
makes
on
me
the men.
happy.
Hey, that's a Latina fire right there.
Hey, just for reference, Dolly's shorter than me, and I'm 5'1".
Okay.
She's fun size.
Now is Dolly the one that you had sent me her DM? Is Dolly the one you sent me her DM? Because it was a woman that was doing target practicing. Do you know how to use a handgun, Dolly?
No,
I think that
no.
was Wendy. Wendy or Lexi?
Not
No,
me.
that was
for
Wendy.
sure.
No?
No. It was another one. She kind of favored Dolly a little bit because she was a badass spitfire. She was just, I don't know what she was unloading, but she was just going in. So shout out to her on that one. Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
All right. So Lex, so you say you tried the experience. So it's funny because there's a famous YouTuber in Cali. I think she goes by name is Jenny Babe or Jane Babe or something like that. And she said she's bi, and she said that she doesn't mind dating both, but she tried the female and she said it was dating women is more of a headache versus dating a guy because they can't figure out what they want. They're too emotional.
So I love when people say that. So I think when you have two women together, yes, everything is heightened, but I wouldn't say that it's too emotional because if you look at, like, you can fact check me, if you look at divorce rates, I think lesbians have the least divorce rate, just because when you think about what a woman wants, what better than another woman to show that to? I've actually tried tapping into the straight scene. So in my early 20s, women just weren't doing it for me sexually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a virgin with a man still to this day. But I was curious because I'm not like a man hating lesbian. I love men. I'm a guy's girl. All my homies are guys. And they actually hit me up for like advice, but I was curious, and because I think men are super attractive. Like, there are handsome men out there, and I went as far as hitting up my buddy.
Yes, we are.
Yes, you guys are. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm kind of like at a place where I kind of want to, try it out. So are you down to take my virginity? And he was super down. So I went as far as like, because I dress in boxer briefs. I went to Victoria's Secret. I got the girliest, boyish like underwear that I could find. I remember they said naughty on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I had to buy like a sweatsuit that like said pink on it so I could be feminine for him and be like girly. I even shaved my legs. But I remember I had to drink and smoke in order to like work myself up to doing it.
Wow.
So when I got there, everything was cool. Like, he gave me a tour of his house, but then he took me to the bedroom, and that's when like things started getting weird. First of all, we're in our 20s at the time, and this guy his whole room was Spider-Man, from like the sheets, the comforter,
Fuck up.
poster on the
fuck
wall.
Shut the
I
fuck
swear,
up.
I'm like, wow, you really like Spider-Man. He's like, yeah, I'm about to trap you in my web, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
So we proceeded, and I was already a little intoxicated and like ready, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then we started kissing, and I hate kissing men because like I don't understand why there's so much tongue involved. But that transitioned to him obviously, being aroused and then bringing it out. And at that moment, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, I think I'm gayer. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm gonna go. He texts me later, like, want to just come back and Netflix and chill? And I'm like, no. He's like, you left your outfits. I'm like, keep it. Like, I'm good. But I definitely have a respect for like I think men are very good looking, and I have had like a feeling towards a man at one point in my life, but that was really shortly lived. But I can never bring myself to be like emotionally interested. I'm physically attracted to them, but not emotionally available.
I just want to comment on the comment, and that's facts. Most women would have walked away. So it's not, that was just that sounds awful. I think all of us were like, ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Like everybody,
Spider-Man,
all
but,
women
like,
went, yeah.
Very
No, but-
stingy.
Dale.
But at least this is what me and Mika was talking about the other day. It's like we did a live stream talk about rejection and how do you handle rejections. So the fact that you did that put like a baby fluffer on his psyche and his ego, you know what I'm saying? So thank you for that, because most girls be like, oh my god, ew, what is this, F you guy, and all this stuff, and then he'll leave with that rejection saying, you know what, F all chicks or F all lesbians, whatever. That would be his main experience from that. So I appreciate you doing that. Everybody hit them likes buttons, hit the subscribe button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe, hit the likes. Likes are free. Don't be lazy with your technical phone. Push that button.
So we do need to say goodbye to Wendy and Genesis because they both have other engagements to attend to.
Yes, I know Genesis do. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, final thoughts real quick, Genesis, and you said Wendy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Genesis.
I wasn't expecting this. This was like a spicy conversation over here.
I told you I got you.
I see. Like you guys are like really getting into it over here.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. I mean better.
I'll be tuning in to see what you guys are talking about.
I would love to have you back
Yeah,
because you're so sweet. I'm like,
thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. I will email you and make sure we have some stuff set up.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right. See you guys.
wait, do you have your own channel?
I sure do. The Book of
Can you-
Genesis, just like it's.
Yeah.
I
She's
know.
like-
I was trying to ask so that other people in the chat can go follow you. I knew.
Oh yeah. I'm on YouTube and all of the other social media platforms. The Book of Genesis with a J.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. All right. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Pleasure meeting you.
Bye.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye, Wendy.
And your final thoughts, Winnie?
Yes, I really enjoyed being part of the conversation. I definitely wish I could have stayed on longer, but I got priorities.
It's called life,
But I-
girl.
You're doing big
But I-
bitch things.
But I definitely want to come back and stay on the whole time session.
Mhm.
And yeah, I had so much fun.
Okay, we appreciate you. Thank you for putting your time out.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks,
you.
Mama.
Yeah, bye.
All right, now back to Miss Lexi, because first of all, I will say this, because this is maybe just me being low key petty on this. I feel bad for the guy because I feel like if he didn't have the Spider-Man pajamas and all that Spidey stuff in there, I think he would have kept it going. I think
He literally said, "I have you in my web." Like, are you joking? No, there's
No.
no.
No. No, because I don't think so, because I didn't try to have sex with any man after that, but like I did go on dates with a few guys. And I think I just came to a point in a realization that like I am just gay. Like that's all it is. It's not that like I'm hating these guys. Like there's some lesbians out there and that they are like man hating, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
And I'm not that type of lesbian. I'm very like big on equality and loving like everybody. So and I don't think men are gross, and I actually don't believe, you know how there's lesbians like to project that men a woman can get a woman off better than a man. That's not true. That's
What?
not true.
That's
It's not true. I totally did.
I experienced it, and I think it's true.
Okay, I think women are just more open sexually. So when you're with another woman, it's exciting and it's like, oh my gosh, this has never happened before. So naturally, you're going to be more aroused, but it doesn't mean that lesbians do it better. I don't think that we do it better. I think that it goes back to connection. And I truly think that when it comes down to women, that something's wrong with a woman if you're not getting aroused. Like you have to kind of do some self-evaluation.
That's fair.
You.
I have to disagree with that because I've been with women and I can tell you they eat me out way better than any man has ever eaten me out. Like
Yeah.
100, and the arousal is not there for a woman the way it is for a man. I'm more aroused with a man. And this is like years ago. Like I don't do that anymore. But
So
I will go ahead.
So I'd say that I did some research. They say that 98% of heterosexual or 98% of men reach an orgasm. 66% of straight women reach an orgasm, and 86% of lesbians. The only difference is that women on women, we naturally know what we'd like, and we've had more opportunity to do so.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's
More
because lesbians
opportunity. More
lesbians
opportunity.
don't quit and don't move on.
Oh
Exactly.
They
yes,
don't
yes.
quit
I was
and they
waiting
don't
for
move
somebody to
on.
say that.
All three. Look, hey, I'm sorry, lesbian, but you've been out lesbian by the straight girls.
I mean, hey, I've dated like 90% of the females I've dated have been straight, and I've been there first. So I'm like,
Oh,
that's
you
great.
don't say.
You
That's
know
fair.
all about that.
One of those gals.
Oh,
That's fair. I agree with that because I'm not a lesbian, definitely not a woman, but I will share, since you're sharing, I will share one story. I dated one. I didn't know until she told me. I was working at one job, was the manager or something like that, and me and her were actually hit it off there at the workplace, right? And end up sleeping together a couple of times. And out the blue, she just went MIA. And then she said, "Hey, you know what? This is the last time for us because I'm a lesbian." I'm like, "What? What's going on? What No, asking all the guy questions." And she just like, "I always been one, and you're just my last." And I was like, "I'm good with that." I'm good with that. But then 20 years later, come to find out she decides she'd be in a polyamorous relationship. And I was like, so you do want guys. So it happens.
I'm telling you, women are just more open. That's all it is. We're more open sexually. We're more down to try things. We're not afraid of our sexuality. And I think it stems from like our childhood. Like growing up, women, like we couldn't really talk about sex. Like it was frowned upon, or we were promiscuous if we did, where men, boys will be boys. So going back to like why I said it's not the man's fault, it's really not. It's just how society brought us up. Like we don't know our own body. Like we don't know what feels good. So until we start, being curious about ourselves, we're not going to really know what we want. That's why when I get intimate with someone, I start off like I don't just go straight into sex. There's a lot of foreplay. I get to know the body. I understand like what you like, what you don't like. And then it transitions to, and I always tell all my girls, I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like make you come the first time, but it's because I'm learning your body. The second time, I got you.
See, and that's fair you to say, because when it comes to guys, they don't, it's like we don't get that second chance. You know what I'm saying? With women, it's like we get that first shot. Like for example, Dolly said, "Hey, the other guy got blessed. He got lucky." So she said, "You know what? I'm gonna take a chance with this guy," and it worked out for the 6 years. And shout out to Dolly because, and you already know, Dolly, these times now, the divorce rate is just crazy. They get together, fall in love, a year later, oh my God, okay, what was your purpose of marrying this guy, this woman, or this individual? What was your purpose? Because marriage is a big difference than girlfriend and boyfriend.
yeah. Actually, I married him because he was a good person in the sense of like he was very caring and very romantic when I first met him, and I think that was I was attracted to that. And I had some boyfriends in high school that were just like jerks. So when I first met him, I thought, well, here's a guy that's like a gentleman. And it crossed my mind a couple of times too. I thought, like, is he a virgin? But then I was like, no, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just like really a gentleman. But then it made sense that he was a virgin because the guys don't really act like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the reason why I married him was because I felt safe, sexually speaking. Like there's so many guys out there that sleep around, and I had just my boyfriend from high school, but all my girlfriends, like they had been played with, and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't want to marry a guy who's gonna play with me, and I felt safe. But that was my thought back then, because we actually ended up having a lot of issues as we got married. We didn't make it to that 7 level, those 7 years. and that was because he wanted to explore. So now that because I went to school, I'm a psychology major. I went to school, I graduated, I learned a lot about sexuality, and I don't blame him. He needed to explore. So um I think it's actually a really bad idea for a man to marry virgin. Like, honestly, because later on in the future they want to explore, and that's where, like, the cheating comes and all that stuff.
And that's normal. It's life.
Yeah.
It happens. And
It happens.
yeah, and I don't want to I don't want to defeat nobody in relationships. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're seeking for as marriage long term, and behind the stage, I'm not gonna call out. We had a conversation before about some people choosing not to even get married. They want that choose me, relationship, and that's totally understandable. But sometimes I guess most people just need to have the open-mindedness to say everything doesn't last forever. So let's just try to enjoy each other as much as we can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, when we come to these role playing, these titles where it's kind of husbands and wife and girlfriend, boyfriends, and exclusive relationship, play your role to the best to your ability. Best of your ability.
Yeah.
Did you say let's be honest?
Yes, let's be honest. You saw what I did there?
I like this girl. I like this girl. I want
Yeah, we
her
hit it
around
we hit it
more.
off from the rip. Hit it off from the rip.
So
I got a
Go
I
ahead.
got a really dorky joke.
Sure.
do it.
Why shouldn't you ever open a refrigerator?
Why?
Why?
Because there might be a salad dressing.
Oh my gosh. I saw that one on TikTok.
I feel like she subbed out for Wendy because Wendy was like the most giggly one here.
No, I thought about it because we're talking about, sexuality. I thought it went along with it.
That was
Okay.
cute.
I like it. I'm not mad at it. Oh, I do have this though. So if y'all had something, let's say, because we're saying single to mingle, right? So if y'all had something to ask just men in general. Okay, what happened to Stacy? But if you had a few questions just to ask men in general, what would it be? Like going for your own past experience, or just excuse me, and women too.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question
Sure.
for. I've had some really bad experiences with men that have cheated on their ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they have been cheated on, but they have cheated on their ladies. And so, how do you overcome that insecurity that the next person that's going to be with you is not going to cheat on you, because you're going to constantly think that person is going to cheat on you because you have cheated before? It has happened to me a couple of times where I break up with someone because they think I'm going to cheat on them and I'm not doing anything, but because they cheated, they think I'm going to cheat on them. It's like crazy. Why do men do that?
Okay. Well, we have some guys in the panel, and I'll send just a link for them, and they can chime in.
What? No.
If
They
they
can
want to
answer-
ask. They can
they
ask in the
can-
chat. Okay.
They can answer in the chat, and then I need you to check your DMs at some point.
I just read it.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
It's-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, for me, in my experience, and the guys, again, like Mika said, the guys can answer in the chat for that. So the question is, so why do men cheat? I guess that's the ballpark question, or just why do men could find a good woman, or they say they have good women and they still cheat?
Well, why do
Yeah.
they do? Because she's asking, what she's trying to find the answer is they do it and then they go on to the next relationship, because it's kind of like the thing when they say someone accuses you of something, it's probably because they've done it in that relationship, right? And
Mhm.
so what she's talking about is, like, I saw Stacy nod her head, like most of us have had that experience. But then these guys continue on new relationships. At what point do they ever do something about it to, like, not cheat anymore, so that they don't keep thinking that the other girl's cheating?
Okay. Again, fellas in the chat, just if you have any comments, whatever, because I'm sure they work and they thought they brain cells in the chat. So she asked a question, pretty much why do men cheat, and she gave her her explanation. Mika gave hers. So in the chat, even ladies too, if you got a honest answer to it, put your opinions up in the chat. But for me, in my experience, and I have said this on in many platforms, and in this one, I've been on both sides of the fence, right? And to me, what it comes down to, no dick control. I'm just gonna keep it 100. All right. So if y'all come into that relationship and you said, hey, well, clearly we're dating, right? Let's just keep 100. We're dating. So I don't expect you to not cheat on me, but you may go do something else. But if we go into that exclusivity of a relationship or the engagement or moving in together, then I understand it. But again, if you're dating me, what's your intent? Let's just start that at number one, because clearly the guy got your number. So you say, hey, I got your number. Let's move on. Let's move it forward from there. Okay, now we're sleeping together. Now at that point, and this is me being honest, but a little bit of hurtful truth. At that point, guys and girls a little bit different with that part, right? Women take the emotion that Lexi said it perfect herself. We have to separate the emotion part, so she don't mind just let me get to know you, on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? Maybe mentally, maybe spiritually. Let's see how you act in environments, whether it's not just in my home, because any guy can just come to your home, because now he got that shield around him. He might not catch the girl. You might have seen with the girl outside of town. Let me take my spouse outside to public events. Oh, you say you live in New Brunswick? Hey, let's go hang out in New Brunswick. Show me around your area. You know what I'm saying? If you got friends and family, okay, is it comfortable enough or with that level yet to meet your friends? So you go to those type of vetting processes and you start watching, not on a sneaky link level, but just watch and observe how the vibe's going. You know what I'm saying? Is he with you? Is he keeping out? And I give an example. I was dating somebody and we actually went out. We went to Florida, drove there, had a great time. Friends, went to the beach, drove up to Atlanta, hung out there. Great party. My homeboy had a house party for the Mayweather fight, right? Did I leave her alone? No. Did I keep her at a distance? Yes, but I keep her at a safe distance where I can keep my eye on her. Hey, what you need, girl? Because I knew that wasn't her environment. Hey, I'm about to go outside, hang with the fellas because I see you kind of getting comfortable and girly with somebody else. Are you good? Do you need anything? All right, bet. I stepped outside, hang out with the fellas. She welcomed to come on out. She did. Had a great conversation. That's how we move. That's how I move. You know what I'm saying? So it's those little ways and moments where you check people like that. And she watched me, and I'm guessing she vetted me to the point where, hey, we're going to continue on moving to the relationship. Now, the honesty kicks in. Guys are scared to be honest because me and Mika spoke to before, and maybe she could be a witness to a lot of this. When guys come up to women, let's say as beautiful as Dolly, as beautiful as Lex, as beautiful as Stacy and Minka, oh my God, I never got something like this in my life. They don't know how to act. That's why I made a joke earlier about the virgin guy. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Okay, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. What's going on? If women has the most best intuitive nature ever, the red flags is always there. Those bells and butterflies in your head and heart connect so well than guys. Guys think separately with their dick in their head. So those
okay, so I'm gonna just say this: it's flat out. If a guy cheats, he's lacking something within himself because he's chasing something else. It's the same thing with women. Women cheat because they're trying to find something within the man and they're not getting it, and then they cheat on him, expecting to find it in someone else. That's their own shit. It's not our concern, because at the end of the day, until they heal whatever they need to heal, they're not going to be able to be in a sustainable, committed relationship if that's actually what they want. Like, I don't know what the ring around the rosy is. It's just, it is what it is. Like, if I cheat, it's because I'm obviously like not fulfilled and I need to go find something else. Right. It's so, Dolly, if you've ever cheated, which I don't know if you have or haven't, but
I've never cheated, but I've been cheated on. And the thing is, like, it's so simple to break up with someone.
Right. I mean, but here's the deal, girl. We know the red flag. What Angelus is trying to say, we know the red flags when it's happening. It's up to us if we're going to acknowledge them or not. If the dude, like, I'm going to say it this way. If the dude is like, and I've been dating, right? So if the guy is not making an effort right off of the bat, I called Angelus on Saturday because I was supposed to have a date. And the dude was, one of the things he said was like, oh, I told him, hey, I'm going to Uber over to the restaurant. He's like, oh, so pick me up. And I was like, the fuck? Right. And I'm like, I'll just meet you there. And then he said, rude, but okay. That already is a red flag that tells me you're not where I'm at. You're not, it's just not going to be it. The problem with the person that gets cheated on is we see something like that, as minimal as it is, and we're like, oh, it's okay. I'll pick him up. Or like he's on his phone on the date and we're like, oh, it's okay, he's really busy.
Yeah.
Or like he's not texting us the next day, hey, I had a really good time with you. Oh, he's I'm just gonna sit here and wait, and like he's probably like doing something. So the issue isn't with the person that's cheating. The issue is why, like, if you're picking people that are doing that. I know you personally. You're an amazingly beautiful person inside and out, and you're a fun ass time and all these things. But it's like, it's also important for you to, like me, to acknowledge when someone is not giving us enough right off of the bat. It's most likely going to happen that way, whether it's cheating or not caring or not being interested enough or any of those things. It's us not picking right.
True.
What's your
the red flags?
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
No, I said we tend to go blind when we see the red flags.
True. Just like, and I even say for the guys, like we tend to ignore some things with women too, because they either given us the box and they're so, oh my God, I'm with Lexi. She's cool, she's hot, she's attractive. Mm-hmm. And Lexi low-key might be that BRTCH. I'm gonna tolerate it though. Yeah. But at least I'm still getting a cookie. I'm still true, so so it's like that little back and forth. So it still comes back to, and I'm a firm advocate of this: vet wisely, vet properly. I'm not saying be a typical a nagging chick, and that's normal because women are gonna ask questions, women are gonna talk. So guys just need to get over that one. Period. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that, Stacy? And then we'll go to Lexi.
So I actually think that. All right, I'm gonna say something, and like the ladies can come back at me after if they want. But I think women are just also generally more forgiving than men.
Yeah.
I think if a man gets cheated on in one relationship and a woman gets cheated on in a relationship, I think the man is going to carry more baggage. The woman, and I can say this from experience, I have had all of the red flags, all the bullshit. And I take very, very little of that with me to the next person. And I don't think that's so easy for men to say. And so I think that's why women, I don't know. Yeah, nagging. I hate the word nagging, but I think men show more of those red flags early because they're still carrying things with them. And I think women are more forgiving, which is why we're just so delightful in the beginning.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Because you ain't fucked up yet, but
what's your thoughts on Lexi?
Man, I'm trying to figure out how to not get so deep with this because
I think me and you eye to eye. We're good. Go ahead.
So I've been cheated on and the cheater. And I just think that men, not even men, society has normalized men cheating because like they think they're with their wiener. And like, yes, I understand anatomy and you guys are just more, sex is more on your mind, but to say that, it's stemmed from, just having a wiener just states that you have no self-control.
That's bullshit. Yeah.
It's bullshit.
It's insulting to themselves.
It's deeper. I think, for example, I was a cheater until recently. I want to say my last serious relationship, I didn't cheat on her. And it's because I was getting every aspect of the relationship. And it's because I took time from my toxic relationship where I was cheating. And I really did I did a self-investigation. I sat across the room from myself. I interrogated myself to see what I really wanted because I was tired of going through this routine, this toxic, same person, different body, same behavior, same habit. And why I cheat is it stemmed from my childhood. I grew up watching my mom cheat. And so it was normal for me. And until I realized that I am not my experience, that I can break that. I don't have to be my mom. Then, I changed that. And then it is true. Like, I think society plays a big part of it. I think social media as well. Like, it's easy to cheat. It's, it's hard to work through your issues. If you have communication issues, sex issues, whatever the case may be. We're so quick to just like run to the next person because we don't like this conversation or we don't like this uncomfortableness. So we never really get to the root of it, which is why men still cheat and why women forgive. It's what they think, what they deserve. So for me, I think you have to do a lot of, in order to break statistics in society, it's going to take a lot of self-investigation, because I think it's possible to be in a relationship and not cheat. Yes, we are humans and there are beautiful people everywhere, but if you can get all the components of what you truly want, then you can have a healthy relationship.
I respect that, because now, just to play devil's advocate, people don't, and it's still, and it kind of like contradicting if I say this, because it's like you're making excuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of guys on the guy side will say, you know what, it's society, I'm in that little area, I'm in that little space, so this is all I see, so this is what I'm gonna do. And then back to Dolly asked a good question with that, which kind of had me thinking what you just said, and I was gonna make a little joke, but like the high value man. So that had me ask a question to relate a little bit, because most so-called high value men feel like it's okay and they're validated to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no high value man.
Yeah. So
that's the thing.
I'll throw this out here, because me and Mika already talked. I'm gonna say this, Mika, then I'll let you go. Because we have our own definitions. We pretty much broke this down, me and Mika. But the other end of the fence, the high value man feels like, hey, if I'm paying all your bills, if I'm taking care of the house financially and everything else, and I got you down, locked you down securely, don't worry about what I'm doing when I'm taking these business trips out for a week or two. All right. So when I come back home, it's just like taking a piss.
Look at everybody's face.
But I'm always come back home to you.
That's just so many zero value people.
There it is. That's my
point. There's a zero value man and a zero value woman, and fuck all of that.
Okay, so that's my point, and that's why I didn't even want to go this route, because that's why I kept trying to tell you, look at your DMs, because this is not it. That's the narrative that so many people have been given. This is what a high value man does. This is what a high value woman does, when at the end of the day, there ain't fucking shit. The guy's cheating on them, having 6 baby mamas. They end up with no fucking money because they keep on having babies everywhere, not being able to take care of them anywhere, thus creating men that don't know how to treat a woman and trickling that down effect to the next generation. You have women saying, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, but they don't have anything on their own. And then there's constantly seeking validation through other things, so they have no fucking soul. It's like, that's not it. The high value people are the people that we have right now on the panel. A lot of the people that are on the chat, where it's like, they take care of business. They go based off of their word. Like, I asked these ladies if they could come on. They said they would. They came on the time that they said that they were going to. The people in the chat are all like, giving their own feedback. Everyone's being vulnerable and honest to an extent where it's a real genuine conversation. These are high value people. That's it. That's why I don't even want to ask that question, because that's the same kind of BS that on Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, and they're all single. They're all single, and they have history of drug addiction, all this crazy shit. They don't have a family of their own, and yet they're telling the next generation, this is what a high value man does. This is what a high value woman does, when it's a bunch of BS. I may be single, but I'm still holding off so that I can have one penis for the rest of my life. That's what I happen to be choosing to fucking do. I'm cool with being single. I love it. I am having discernment. I'm no longer picking motherfuckers that are going to cheat on me. I'm no longer picking bitches that are not going to be my friend and be real with me. I'm no longer picking bad people because I did the work internally. I believe that's what makes me a high value person. And if any of these women know, and these women know me in real life, I can kind of assume that they can judge me based off of how I've been as a friend, and when I show up, and when I'm there to talk to, and how I show up. So that's high value, and I'm not willing to settle for someone that's going to put their dick in everything that they find. And sorry, I'm not doing it.
So someone commented that, it comes down to biologically different. I don't think that's an excuse for cheater to be.
No.
To say that I'm a man and I have a penis, so I think about sex more, so I get a pass, I can cheat. It's what men do. Goes back to when you know when we're children, and how women, like if we got caught playing with ourselves, our mom would walk in and be like, don't do that, that's naughty. Where again goes back to boys will be boys. So I think men just get a pass in general for a lot of things, especially men with like a lot of financial backing. But if men really understood what women wanted, I can tell you, I think society has messed that up. I think society has equated our sense of security for financial backing. And in reality, like this is not 1,000 years ago. Like we're in 2022. There are powerful women. Look at Olivia Pope. Sorry, it's a character, but at the same time,
really?
like, I did. But at the same time, it's like, that's not what we want. Women want comfort and reassurance. It has nothing to do with financial backing. We can hold our own at this point. Like equality is here. Like there are, like, yes, we are biologically different. There are things that men can't do that women can, and vice versa. But the opportunity should be equal for all. So it doesn't. It's just I can't. When it comes down to cheating, you can't talk about like, oh, I'm a man, so it's okay. Like, no.
But how much of that is just excuses? And I want to say this to everybody. Like, how much of that is excuses? Because men are basing their own behaviors off 90% of the animal kingdom, right? 90% of the animal kingdom.
I was just gonna get to that. Go ahead.
They say go out and fuck everything. The human race actually is not dependent on that. That is not how we function. That is not how we survive. We survive with community and pair bonding and family and rearing our young. It's the same reason they say men have to provide, men have to provide, men have to provide. Go way back.
They created that though. They created
90% of the food for the hunters and gatherers was provided by the women gathering. The women gathering and maintaining the homestead created 90% of the food source. Men just got to bring home the fucking deer or saber-tooth tiger or whatever. Like
now Stacy, I got to clap back for the men though, because the men in general say the fact that we are the hunter-gatherer, so they feel validated to do that.
No, you're the hunter.
Yes.
You're the hunter.
Yes.
We are the gatherers.
Okay. They feel like they're hunters and gatherers. Go ahead, Lexi.
Can I add? So I don't want to just blame it on men saying that they're the providers. Women have set that expectation too. Like we have asked for equality for so long, and it's here, but yet we're still saying, how much do you make? Do you come with like this? So
that part.
We can't play both, but we can't want equality and expect.
I never said that in my life.
No, but you haven't, and that's my point again. I brought quality women to the panel.
Yeah, we're speaking in generality.
We're speaking in generality. What most of the other people, you guys, that's what I want you guys to remember. Most other
remember the shitty people I don't like.
Exactly. Most of them are going to be bringing the Brittany Reynolds of the world and bringing them on here and asking them, what do women want? I'm asking actual women in their everyday lives. Each and every one of you, including the women that have already left, have their own profession, make their own money. You guys are looking for quality men. You guys are looking for actual partnerships. You're not looking for someone that's got the bag that's going to come and save Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, right? So that's the difference. So it is true that the vast majority of where we come from, just like there's a lot of men that are saying, I want a woman to obey and suck my dick, and who gives a shit when I'm out in the world. There's a lot of women, and these two can attest because we're in LA, that say you have to make X amount. I don't have a degree. I don't have a job. I don't have this. I have 2 children that you're going to have to adopt too, but I want to make sure you have 6 figures. You're making a shit ton. You're going to take care of us. You're 6 feet tall. You've got a big dick. I hate that it's true. I fucking hate that it's true.
I got called out. I got called out in LA for, girl, you're not from here.
Yeah.
Girl, you're not from here. And I'm walking around, I'm walking to work by myself. Everybody's yelling at me like, girl, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm fine. Like everything's fine. Girl, you got moxie. LA girls don't got moxie.
What's moxie? I don't even know what moxie is. What's moxie?
It's your definition of what you call a bitch, but it isn't a bitch.
Oh yeah, that's why I fuck with you.
It's like confidence and attitude. And he goes, LA girls, it wasn't even just him, it was like 3 people. LA girls, they just pretend to be scared of everything.
Yeah.
They're just scared of everything and they need the best of everything, and they're just sorry to the LA girls. But
it's not all LA girls, but it's a majority enough to be a conversation.
Yeah.
It makes me realize that the social structure of maybe what I'm dealing with in bumfuck nowhere, Wisconsin, is not necessarily the woman pool that you have in LA.
Yeah,
Like we're farmers out here.
correct. Which
They
I
build shit with their hands.
yes,
Right?
which I find is funny because and I want to chime in on Maria because she said hunter gatherers question mark is 2022. Yes, and I'm gonna get to that because I wanna dive in that real quick. It's funny because like Mika, a prime example, right? It's not everybody, so that's why I'm glad we're having these conversations so everybody get to understand that key point. When you try to put the majority rule of everybody else, it kind of drowns out the positive noise, the positive feedbacks, right? So Mika's a perfect example. It'd be some moments where you may think she's bubbly and goofy, but when that switch hits, she's smart as F. She's holding it down in the home. She's doing what needs to do, right? Some men is a little bit intimidated by that. Because guess what? People like, Dolly, Lexi, Mika, yourself, say that you had to do it by yourself until you get that man or get that woman. But I will say this, and I want to chime in a question because this is a constant question we ask all the time. And it's probably my little pet peeve of a question. She said, hunter gatherers, question mark, is 2022. So my clap back with that, Maria. So if we have so much independent women out there in the world, right? Can an independent women hold down their man or their spouse just like majority of the men hold down their women? Because let's keep it real. We got these boss bait women out there. And two, can you do it just as long term as the men do it without even asking question or bickering about it?
No,
but I hated him. But that's the point, is that like y'all make it seem like men do all these things and you guys try so hard and you hold it down and you have intimacy and you rebuild the trust and you rebuild the love. A relationship, Poppy does say it, and he's like, a relationship is supposed to be boring. And a lot of times when that happens, the man strays. And a lot of times when that happens, the woman finds intimacy elsewhere. I just don't, it's the way that it's making it sound is like, can you hold it down? That's what women are doing. That's why we're talking about like the marriage percentage going, or the marriage age going up, specifically because we're holding out. We're like paying our bills, we're taking care of everything, and we're not marrying the first guy that's like saying sweet nothings anymore.
I'm gonna read something on equality that I wrote. So, and I think it goes back to like, yes, the question, the hunter, the gatherer. Yeah, we are in 2020, so get rid of that. So equality. So I put the culture discrepancy between equality that's been around for thousands of years, where women were unequal to men in every way, socially, economically, politically, sexually. That's changing. It's already changed. Now women want we want to be seen as equal. Like we're equally able to do whatever the task is at hand. Equal opportunity. We don't need to compete for dominance. Like if we just eliminate that, like let's stop this whole like, well, I feel less dominant as a man if I'm not financially. Well, that's because that's what society has told you have to be. You have to be financially stable. That's like thousands of years ago. Like just like there's the Old Testament and the New Testament, there's the old way and the new way. And I think we're trying, like women have a problem with it too. Like we want equality, but we have expectations of the old way. Men want, their women to be able to hold it down for them, but then they don't want them to be too dominant. Like, it's just, it goes back to teamwork. That's all it is. Teamwork and communication.
Yeah, because it's getting to a point where it's like one against the other, and it should be like you said. I love that you brought it back. I'm so glad you brought it fucking back, dude. Because I don't hate men. I love men. I want to be with one penis for the rest of my life. I keep saying that, but
I think there's a huge appreciation for lesbians from the men now, because I'm pretty sure every man expected me to come on here and be like, "F y'all, like I can do it better," but no.
I'm pretty.
But
sure
I might be able to. So like, yo, if you want to try it out.
What?
Nothing.
You're gonna try it out?
No. I'm saying like a lot of men probably thought I'd come on here like having like this ego of like, oh, you should turn to the lesbian side.
The gay agenda.
No, well, and I'm gonna agree with the guys, because until you are the first lesbian that I've ever met that actually sees things in a logical standard and is not competing with a man. You don't.
I have a big appreciation for, so I love to study mannerisms. I actually wanted to study serial killers, and that transition just to humans. So I study mannerisms for a long time. I mirror every personality. So I'm unbiased to all. I like to hear everybody out because it goes back to like I listen to respond. I don't listen to react.
Right.
Makes
So
sense.
let me ask another question then, because here's the issue with like we talk about dating and stuff, and the guys are talking about being the hunter gatherers and providing. Do you women, I don't know where Dolly went, but like, would you be opposed to having a man being the gatherer and you being the provider? Because if we're talking about equality and saying how much we don't, how it is not about, because I hear that all the time, like women come on here and they're like, it's not about that. We want this, we want emotional, blah, blah, blah. So let's say the guy brings all the emotional maturity, the intimacy, or the opposite sex, sorry, the partner, sorry, the partner that you're looking for or looking into or wanting to be with brings everything except for the financial portion. Could you respect the person enough to be in a happy relationship with them if they're earning less than you?
I've been both the provider. I've been majority like every relationship. I've had an old school mentality for so long, and I recently, up until this, I want to say the pandemic, where I actually like sat down and thought and got my time back, so I had nothing to do but think. I broke through that because I had the same like morals, like, oh, I'm the more dominant one in the relationship, so I have to be the one that financially takes on the roles. I expect my woman to be at home cooking, taking care of the kids. Like I had those same, as a lesbian, I had that same mentality. But you know, I'm at a place right now where I don't necessarily like your financial situation. Like obviously it's important, but like what I'm seeking right now is someone to challenge me. Like I've been the provider for so long, so now I want someone that's either equal to me or even better, somebody that motivates me, somebody that I don't care if they make more. I had the biggest issue in my previous relationships where I had to make more, and if you made more than me, then like I got insecure and I couldn't be with you because I felt less than. But I broke through that cycle, and now I'm looking for someone like, yo, like come and challenge me. Like I'm an entrepreneur and I got a lot going on, but activate me.
Right.
So yes, I could date someone that makes more than me, less than me. Like, no.
Stacy?
Yeah, so I was actually in a really long-term relationship with somebody that I was the provider. I made all the money. I got him his first job. I got him his promotion. I built his resumes, and he made half of what I made all the time. And none of that was ever the problem. It was never the money. It was never the income. It was never that I just knew what I was doing. I was with him because he had potential, and I was given that a shot. And I made the mistake, if we're going to go back however long we've been in this to the way beginning, I made the mistake of marrying my best friend. I'll never do that again, ever. So.
Sorry, you won't marry your best friend?
I will never marry my best friend. Well, I'll likely never get married again. But if I were to, I would never marry my best friend.
Can you explain that? Because my husband would definitely ask you right now and probe.
So your best friend is not your spouse. Your romantic partnership, in my opinion, is elevated above best friend. And they can't play both roles. If you marry your best friend, essentially you just have a roommate, and that is not my romantic partner. That's not my life partner. I don't need a buddy. I want a husband.
Okay. See, Vega's saying I agree with Stacey. I'm asking personally because I've never heard that. I've always heard and this is why I'm asking, because I've always heard, and this is the advice everyone's given me, is marry your best friend.
No.
Damn, everybody's saying they agree. Am I the only person that's not heard this?
Do not marry your best friend.
Everybody's agreeing. Oh. Fuck.
That's separate.
Damn. Yeah.
So, I'm literally, oh my God. I learned something today. Look, I'm turning red.
Yeah. So I married my best friend, and I provided and I did everything because I cared about him, and he had potential, and we were gonna take over the world. And eventually I just ended up with a trash ass drunk roommate who was so unhappy And that's the thing though, is it wasn't about the money and it wasn't about that I was providing. It was that he was so unhappy. He was just so unhappy all the time. He was unhappy in his job where he was getting paid shit. I said, well, I don't need you to make more money, but I can't deal with you being this unhappy. So we're getting you a different fucking job. And then I would get him a different fucking job.
Okay, so then let me ask the other question, which is like, because I wouldn't be okay with someone that if I was a provider. It's just a respect thing for me. Where it's,
I would never do it again either. That's the thing though. It's like you hit so many red flags, you have no patience for any anymore. Just you have no patience for any. I would never like. I could be with somebody if he was actually providing all other aspects, because I have really low standards. I'm super low maintenance. I don't need a lot. I go to antique stores and art shows and like that's my life. I don't need a lot. So if we can get by and survive, like I don't need anything extravagant or over the top. But what I need is for you to be happy. I need you to be pulling your weight. And yeah.
I get it.
Sorry.
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. It's just you've already experienced it, so it's kind of like at this point you just need the bare minimum. The bare minimum of being happy.
Oh God, that hurts.
I'm sorry. I put on my dating. I can't tell you like how many times people ask me, they're like, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a gentleman. I'm looking for someone that's going to take like the time out to notice the little things, the one that's more action oriented. And I can't tell you how many guys are like, oh, that's the bare minimum. And then they don't do the bare minimum. So I understand the hurt that you're going through.
But
it's just,
no, it's not, but it's not hurt. It's not the bare minimum. I'm saying financially, that is not what drives me. I have my standards when it comes to emotional awareness, mental awareness, respect, and how the actual relationship dynamic goes. My standards, I'm kind of screwed. I have no patience. I have no excuses. I just have no nothing. I'm done. I'm saying that I have no financial drive, which is that provider drive.
Right.
No, I just need enough to be comfortable and not like if I'm not worrying if we're going to be able to buy food or if the car breaks down or one of us loses a job for a month and we have to go hunt. Like if I'm not to the point where that would destroy us, like I could be happy.
Okay, so I like Primal's thing. He's saying, let's keep it 100, ladies. You want a man that's a leader, not your best friend. And that makes sense now, going back to where we were saying earlier that you're not dating your best friend, which I just learned. I'm going to be 100. You guys are absolutely right now that I'm thinking more and more about it. But here's the thing. I have other questions because, yeah, it is a connection. And that's the part where my question goes into, because a lot of these guys say specific things of, women are looking for a man that's making at least $60,000 to $100,000 a year. Women are looking for a guy or a person that's 6 feet over or tall, over 6 feet tall. And women are looking for like all these different things. Like, so what you guys are saying is the complete opposite, not complete opposite, but that those don't matter as much as an actual connection on an intimate, emotional, spiritual, sexual level.
I think speaking for like straight women, I think in order for us to figure out for men to figure out what women want, you have to get over the old days. I think I like a lot of my straight like women friends, they want a vulnerable man. They want a man that's not afraid to, talk about their emotions, get deep, and not worry about like, oh my gosh, am I being too like sensitive? Like, is this gonna be a turnoff? Nowadays, it's not. Nowadays, vulnerability is like, we have to humanize it because we are humans. We are people. We all have emotions. Men go through things and like they have this expectation where they have to be tough and they can't show emotions. And that's horrible to live that way. So I think a lot of like what's rooted for what a man thinks a woman wants comes from like the old way of thinking. And I think if we break that, I think what a woman truly wants comes down to communication, understanding, equality, and security, but not in the way that society has created the perception. Security in going back to comfort and reassurance. Like that's what women want. And we're not too emotional. We just don't know. Like women have an opportunity with.
I disagree with that part.
What part?
That we're not too emotional.
Okay. here, I'm not saying that women aren't okay. So we were cosmically created to be nurturing, to give
Right.
birth, and to have emotions. But I'm not saying there's something wrong with how women deliver and how we approach, but doesn't mean that the issue itself, when we are being emotionally driven or emotionally triggered, yes, there's an opportunity with how we deliver it. There's an opportunity with how we communicate it, which makes men think that, wow, she's being too emotional because we can't get our words out and we're going all over the place.
Right.
But I think it's just we're more in tune with our emotions. We just don't know how to deliver it.
So then let me ask another question,
Agree with
because
you
this
for
is
the
the other
first
part.
time.
Huh? What?
Sorry.
Go
I was-
ahead.
No, I was just saying that I disagree a little, like with her for the first time, and Lexi.
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Lexi's
We're
bomb.
getting along.
You are still so bomb.
Thank you.
I used to think that I wanted those things, and I don't. To me, equality or wanting emotional men or wanting vulnerability and all of that, it just became something different as I navigated life and my relationships. You know what I want? I want safety. I like the word safety way better than security.
So
I
what
want
is that?
safety.
So what does that mean to you? Because it's
So security is always misconstrued as financial.
Mhm.
It's you're not starving and you're whatever. To me, safety, it does have a little bit of that. It means you're not dying. But it also you're not dying. You're eating, like you're not whatever. But to me, safety is that like I know no matter what, I'm taken care of. Right? Like I know that you won't hurt me. I know that you won't let anybody else hurt me. I know that if I come home and I was feeling hurt, you're going to let me feel hurt, and this is my safe place to do that.
So doesn't
Like-
that go back to what I said in terms of
Yeah.
comfort and reassurance?
Sort,
But that's
yes.
but I'm just saying, but that's just one. Like I don't need. Hold on, 1 second.
She's yelling. The nurturer is coming out.
Got to get mom voice with the dog. There she is. No, but it's just safety, and with safety it's just trust. It's just that you're gonna take care of each other, and then after that, what would it be? Respect.
Respect is a good one. Yeah, I wrote that down for like what I want.
But what's funny though is everybody, like, it's like the mutual respect, and I can't argue for that so much because women always want to argue for that. Like men don't respect women, men don't respect women, men don't respect women. So I think it's more important to communicate to men, be a man that drives me to respect you.
But I have to clap back on that one. I gotta clap back because again, my people hate it when I refer to myself as a bitch, but I do because I've had the learning experience where I was the person that was so loud and needed to feel like I needed to fucking talk about, you know what I mean? I needed to defend myself on everything, especially when it came to men, that I had no respect for men. Can we all kind of agree that generally speaking, maybe not in Wisconsin, but generally speaking, the majority of women don't really respect men? Because I've had the luxury of having a lot of male friends where I've seen them cry, I've seen them be upset, I've seen them lose their shit, I've seen the pressure that they deal with, baby fathers, going through divorce, getting cheated on, and they go through all these things and they can't be emotional the way women can. We can cry to each other, we can be sad, we can like be like, oh, he's such a piece of shit, all these things. But when it comes to men, there's like an expectation, not just from women, but from society in general, to be stoic, to not have emotion. And not only that, but then on top of that, just generally speaking, I feel like most women have the lack of respect for men.
I agree. No, you're right. I did again get lost in my world and not the world of women. I don't just automatically like assume and respect a man. A man has to earn it, and so when he does, that's usually because it's quality. There's reason behind it, so it matters. It just really matters to me, which is why that's just a big thing.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I just gotta say it because
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been that bitch.
Say it.
That's how I learned,
Say
is
it.
that I was that girl. And it's like I had to learn, like, oh shit. the reason I'm not being respected, the vast majority of the reason I wasn't being respected was because I was cutting men off when they were talking. I was telling them that they weren't shit. I was saying, I don't need you. Nobody needs you. and then I'm like, why doesn't anybody like me?
But see, it like in my mind, a woman who feels safe and a woman who is inspired to respect her man, not told to or else. Like
Right.
she is just inspired to, and he is kind and affectionate, you're not going to get that woman. Like, though, that's the thing. It's like, to me, that's just a great dynamic. That's just a good, and you know, good deed. Like, come on.
What do you think, Dolly?
I lost you guys because my dumb phone died.
I was asking, like, do you feel like, because we're talking about what women are looking for in men, and the first one was mainly like security and protection, but also consistency. And I was talking about, I personally feel like a lot of women don't respect men. Like the way that we want to be respected, I feel like there's a lot of women that don't respect men that way.
Yeah, I think it can go both ways. For myself personally, I don't know if I would say that we need security, like because I don't feel that we need a man, and this is just my personal beliefs. Like, I don't need a man to feel secure. Like, my sister, on the other hand, she feels like she does need to feel secure because financially secure, emotionally secure, and everything. I'm just looking for somebody who can give me, like, I guess, emotional support, but having somebody to share like what you like doing on a daily basis, like your lifestyle. That's what I'm looking for. But financial stability, maybe, like, we were brought up to believe that we needed that for men, but as we got older, like, I know a bunch of girls, I mean, including yourself, like, I know a lot of women go-getters that have jobs. So I don't know so much that we're looking for security. I think that is mostly like at night when we feel alone, like if we're single, like if we feel alone, there might be like a time a month, when we have our period, we feel very like vulnerable, like, oh my god, like emotional, like I wish I had somebody, but the next day we're like, yay, I'm single, I like this.
I hate you.
Yeah, like, I really don't think that it just goes both ways. Men need us as much as we need them, period. I mean, like, any man who says like, oh no, women need me, they're just fucking liars, because they need us as much as we need them. So I think it's more emotional support and just being there physically when you're like sick, that type of stuff. Security, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's something that I would be looking for in a man. But I do understand that a lot of women don't respect men, because my brothers, they have had really girlfriends that don't respect them, and I can see how it could be both ways too. So
okay, I have one last question, and then we're probably going to do closing thoughts, just because it's getting close to 2 hours. This is one that is constantly misinterpreted and misunderstood when women are talking about men being emotionally available. Can you guys break down what that means? Because at the same time, and this is me being in this world, what I keep on hearing from men, and this is why I wanted you guys on, because I feel like, okay, we have more women that are going to answer this the best way that they can. In general, when you're asking for someone to be emotionally mature or emotionally available, men, or just generally speaking, more masculine energies think that means that they have to be like simps or emotional or cry or all these things. But then what their experience is that when they are that way and they let down their guard, that they're not viewed with respect anymore, that goes out the window. Can any of y'all like break that shit down? Dolly, do you want to?
Yeah, emotionally available doesn't mean that a guy has to be like a big pussy or like cry with us when we're crying or something. It just pretty much means that they understand when we are, I mean, there's days when we're upset, and there's days when we have like problems with our families and stuff like that. Like, if they're understanding of that, of why we're stressed, on a particular situation, and they're not like, oh my god. Okay, I'll give you an example so that I don't get you girls all like wondering what the fuck I'm talking about. Good example. Today, my daughter's 18. She has a boyfriend and she wants to have sex. She's been fighting me every day on that, like for the past 2 months.
God bless you.
So I was telling this guy I was with, by the way, this guy that I'm like talking to, he's not my boyfriend, but I told him like, God, I have so much stress with her, you know? And it's just it stresses me out. I was only saying that to this person, and they were like, oh, I don't want drama. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, you know? So when they're not emotionally available there for you, that's exactly what it means. Like, this guy was not able to have a conversation with me in regards to that. So that was a good example of how a guy is not mature. So therefore, he is not going to be emotionally available to you, because he's probably just thinking about, fuck, I'm just dating this girl or being with her because the sex is good and the companionship. But they don't want anything else. They don't want to hear like your problems, your worries, and stuff like that. So that would be kind of like a good example of what emotionally available a guy would. I have a friend. He hears me out when I tell him like, oh my gosh, I'm going through so much right now with my girl. He's like, tell me about it. Talk to me. That's emotionally available right there. And it doesn't have to be your boyfriend. It could be your best friend. It could be anybody. But a lot of guys don't have that because they're not mature enough. And that I learned in school.
Someone's saying they disagree, Dolly. You're a mom. It's not his kids. So generally, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But they want us to hear when they got shit going on. So then I'm like, dude, I just listened to your drama with your ex and your child care and your child support, and now you don't want to hear about my daughter? Red flag. I'm going to have to pass on that, you know?
Look at you looking at the red flags. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Stacey, you want to say what emotionally maturity or availability you're looking for? We horny, Dolly.
Us too.
It's true. It's true. We all have needs.
Yes, women are more horny than men for the future. That is
100%. No, we're monsters. I say it all the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Monsters.
Because I say shit on here all the time, and the guys are like, "Wow, Minka, you wild," and "Wow, Minka," and I'm like, "No."
Women are more sexually active and horny than men.
Yep, we're disgusting creatures.
Thank you guys. Okay, Stacey, hi. What do you think about the emotionally availability? Because again, it's for the men to understand, because they are the ones that are saying like, okay, that means that they want men that are going to cry. But then when they do get emotionally available, then women don't have respect for them for crying. That's fucked up.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't want a man that's going to cry to me every fucking day.
Right.
Okay, so that's where emotional stability to me is, your woman, your lady, that's your safe space. When things are really bad and you have to be a man to the world 100% of the time, all the time, your lady is who you can go home to and just go, well, that sucked. Or you know, you can go home to your woman and you can tell her how bad your day was, or you can tell her how you're worried about something because you trust her and she's not going to go gossiping to her mother or your mother or her sisters or her friends. She's going to let you keep that manhood and you can trust your space with her, and that's where you can be vulnerable. However, to me, emotionally intelligent is that you have enough control of yourself. You express yourself enough with your family relationships, with your friendships, that you don't just internalize because you think it's a masculine thing to do, that every single day you're coming home and you're just whining to me. Stop whining to me. No, this petty shit, this bottom tier emotional things, you don't have to be the big tough man for. You can actually deal with conflict, and you can deal with your family, and you can deal with your friends, and you can deal with what you're going through at work, and you can just come home. Vulnerability to me is that I'm here for you to offload that big shit. And then also, like, you're there for me, and understanding that, yeah, I am more emotional. I am. I don't want it to be true, but it is true. I am more emotional. I'm gonna cry more. I'm gonna cry at a commercial if it comes on in the wrong week of May. Okay, like that's just the truth.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's go cry together later. Lexi, it's the same question for you, but it's obviously that's why I use, or I don't know if you got it. It's masculine energy, because you actually are I assume as a lesbian, just from knowing you, you have more of the masculine energy, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So I feel like you're the one that has to be more emotionally available and mature. What does that mean to you? Because you'd be more on the side of like, if you cry, then that's weak. That's literally the phrase that I hear a lot of men saying. It's like, okay, but then you guys are asking us to be emotional, but then when we are, if we cry, we're weak.
So I've gotten that. I've been the emotionless one in the relationship, where I wasn't giving much emotions or thought, and that's just because I was going through my own stuff and I wasn't emotionally available. And there's a difference between being emotional and emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable to me is I have a lot of insecurities that I had to work through, so I couldn't relate, I couldn't communicate. You know, I can't give you that emotional support you're looking for because I'm trying to figure out. But there's a different being emotional. Like, I think I've come to a place now, like my last relationship, I can say I was emotionally unavailable. I think, you know, I had a great woman. She was amazing. She had all the qualities I was looking for, but I was in a place in my life where I felt like I needed to get to know me and see what I really wanted. So I wasn't giving her the communication she wanted. I wasn't giving her the respect she needed. I wasn't giving her the, you know, that two-way dialogue. It was always like, you know, it was always about her, never really, like, you didn't really know much about me. And a lot of women seek that. And mind you, I'm dating straight women. Like, these are women that are like apparently bi, but I'm always the first. So for me, it's like
You hoe.
they you know, I try.
34 and single. You're getting
Actually, I
all
don't
those
try.
divorcees and those experimental ones coming out for the first time.
Yeah, man, and it sucks to be the experiment, but I can tell you just from dating straight women, they expect that from another woman, but when they get it, they're like, what the heck is wrong with you too? Like, you're just like a man. And it's like, no, there's nothing wrong with a man. If a man is emotionally unavailable, it's just because he's not going to be interested in you because he's not looking for that right now. And
Right.
he's probably going through his own, you know, his own issues where he doesn't feel confident in understanding what his issues are. So what makes you think he's going to be able to articulate it to you? So for me, that's how it was for me. Like, I couldn't, like, as amazing as my ex was, like, she was so perfect. And like, for me, it wasn't enough for me to break through my emotional unavailability. Cause I had just gotten out of a really toxic relationship, and, you know, I wanted to make sure that what I wanted was right. So, and I'm not going to show all my cards. Like, I gotta sort through my own emotions before I'm able to, you know, talk about it. So I wasn't ready for that relationship. And I think a lot of men, you know, maybe they're not ready for that relationship, because if they were, you'd see a difference right away.
I love that you just said that. I love that you just said that, because it's fucking hitting the nail on the mark. I'm gonna answer I'm gonna answer from me. It's because it's actually on a comment from Elizabeth Davis. Thank you for that comment, because she said, it's for me, it's someone that will let their guard down to me, and I can let my guard down because she doesn't know how to explain it. I know how to explain it. I want to be able to feel safe, and I want my partner to feel safe enough too. That's all it comes down to for the emotional availability part. I just want to thank you guys for coming on again. I know that it's I don't know what I know. I just know that I appreciate you guys for coming on, because it's for me, being in this world and like with so many different people with one set mind. I think Angelus and I always agree that we started this whole thing to broaden the horizon, and that it's not one way. That's why we came up with the Gray Pill podcast, so that it's not black and white. And it's having, if we'd love for you guys to come back. Stacey, your family. So you know what I mean. your family, but you guys are always welcome back too, because it's really enlightening so that more people can have a better and broader understanding of what women are actually looking at. Do you guys have any closing thoughts? Did you like it? Do you want to come back? Do you hate me? Do you hate
I
us?
loved
Like, what's
it.
up?
I
What's good?
want to come back.
I want to come back too.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't get to come back.
Well,
I'm
then,
just kidding.
you know
I'm
what?
kidding. Yeah, you can.
Catch me on mine.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
definitely want to come back. I really appreciate the fact that you invited me. Thank you for having me. I do want to say this though. I just turned 40, and I think if I'm single and ready to mingle, it's because that makes me happy, you know. And I don't actually have to really, like, I saw a comment earlier that somebody was saying like, Dolly, you're 45, you grab whatever you can. I'm not looking to grab whatever I can because I have values and higher expectations of myself. Like, I know what I'm looking for, you know? So if it takes me 10 more years to find somebody, I know I'm going to find that person. So,
Girl, don't pay attention to the comments.
Yeah.
That every time I get
but I want to say, like, the reason why some of us are single is because we do know what we're looking for. We don't just settle for whatever, you know?
I get the comment constantly when I start saying shit. It's, but she's 30 and single. But she's 30 and unmarried. But she's 30 and unmarried. And I told this guy that
Oh
I'm
my
dating.
God, but
I literally told the guy that I was dating. I was like, where I was telling him about the podcast, and I was like, their go-to argument is always, but she's 30 and unmarried. And he started dying of laughter. And I'm like, it is what it is.
Can I say something to that? Because
Sure.
I went on a date and like she went psycho on me. Like she would, like, after the first date, like, I see myself with you and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, there was no connection, there's no romance happening here. And when she said why, my comment, and I guess you can call me an asshole, but I said, when you get to a point when you know what you want, you're able to identify what's not for you sooner.
Like this.
It's really a blessing. Like that. Within the first like minute, I can tell, like, okay, I'm not stimulated in any shape, way, or form, and it's like, bye. Like, I can't. But I'll have a great time with you. Like, I'm all about having friends and like acquaintances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it takes, experience. Like, I know someone made a comment saying that I seem balanced as fuck. It's the hell I went through that got me here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
final
appreciate
thoughts.
what you're saying.
Yeah. We're all in it, man. So any
Yeah.
final thoughts for you, Lexi?
Yeah. No, actually, I really appreciate coming on here. Like, this was fun. This was my first podcast. So I appreciate it, and I really like it, and I hope you invite me back because I think I'm really cool.
We love you already.
That's why I fuck with you.
But, hey, how's Jenny, by the way?
I killed Jenny. Anyways,
I couldn't see
Stacy.
her. I couldn't see her.
Stacy.
So.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, next, Stacy. Stacy, it's your turn. There's an inside I had a pimple, guys. I just want everybody to know, since she fucking brought it up. I had a pimple on the side of my face, and I was meeting up with a guy, and I was like, and she named my pimple Jenny, and she's like, oh no, but talk about Jenny. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. You're such a cock block. Jenny's dead. She's gone. Stacy,
she was great though.
any final thoughts? What do you think? Like,
R.I.P. Jenny.
Jenny.
No, so I'm just gonna come in here and say that I'm at a very, very different point in my life than, say, where you, Minka, or Lexi, or where you're in your 30s, your young 30s, and you're single. Like, never been married, never. But I love you. I think that's awesome, because F all that.
Mm-hmm.
I married the guy that everybody's always talking about, thinking they want. That emotional and that vulnerable and that that equality, whatever, everything that you think you want. And it was so, like, it just twisted my mind in the effect of what that kind of scenario had on a man. Like, can you imagine a man? Like, I feel like that's their instinct, is to wear the pants and to provide and to care for, and like, we nurture, and it's all of those things. And when you deprive them of that, I'm convinced that they start to feel resentment. It's not in their nature to be that role. I think that nature plays a large role in how men and women interact with each other. And so when everybody comes out, they want an emotional man, a vulnerable man, and they want the woman wants to provide, and the man is. I
got you.
I can't get on board with that anymore. Like, I learned my lesson, if you will, that I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you out then.
That I appreciate men for what they are and what they offer, and I appreciate women for what they are and what they offer. And I think women do not appreciate men enough for who they are and what they offer in a relationship. And I think men sure as shit don't appreciate women enough for what we also bring to the table.
Right. I agree.
We're not your box to dance around. You know, men didn't go to war for the pussy. Men went to war for the wives.
Ooh, I love that you just said that.
Men went to war for the wives.
Yeah. So I will say this. I appreciate you guys all coming on, and I hope that you guys continue to come back on. And I want to make sure that everybody knows we at the Great Pill Podcast, my husband and I, he's backstage in coordinating, and he helped me out a lot in starting this because he's usually in charge of everything. God, it's such a traditional role. I really like it. I don't believe in just like the equality. I do believe in traditional rules, and like he is my practice because we are very much like in line, and I support him and he supports me. We have each other's back. So he's backstage making the things and making everything function, and he helped me out in the beginning. I do want to make sure that everybody knows that we are on Saturdays, and we are also on Tuesdays. Saturdays we are on at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tuesdays we are on at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Damn, I'm so good for saying that the way that I did. We are alternating. So next week, this next Tuesday, we are going to have an all men's panel. They can answer questions. They can clap back. It can be guy talk. But ladies, if you have any questions, go on there. And
ladies control. Ladies control.
You don't have to control, but
emotional damage.
Motherfucker. But
I was like, what's that?
Please, that's my husband. But please come on, ask the questions, give your input, be in the comments. And then again, that following Tuesday, it's going to be a women's panel just like this. Men, if you have any questions, or women, if you want any comments, please come back on here. Husband backstage while wife is wearing the pants. Nope, I'm not wearing the pants. He's wearing the pants. That's why he's controlling everything. My choice of words is controlling. So yeah, someone asked me the other day, they're like, when are you going to start your own? I'm like, I'm not. I can't do it alone. He does everything. Like, anyways, thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. And I can't wait for you guys to come back the following Tuesday. Again, Tuesdays and Saturdays, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Mommy.
Bye guys.